what's up, y'all? Preston from Fight Media 360 here. So this is a quick preview and prediction, not preview and prediction, but this is a quick fantasy fight preview and prediction for Dillian Whyte versus Joyce. So before we get into all this, I just want to say it's your boy's birthday. I just turned 15 today. So if you guys mind, send like like happy birthday in the comments for me, you know, because I'll be giving y'all, you know, feedback on fights or the post fights and my predictions on fights, So please do me a favor, and definitely not definitely, but you don't have to, but it would definitely mean a lot if you guys would send happy birthday in the comments, Um, and also I'm very happy that I be doing videos with you guys, and talk to you guys and talk to you about my predictions, I'm definitely very glad, that you guys are my fans, it's definitely it's definitely a very good birthday gift, is y'all, my fans pretty much. That's a very good birthday gift, and it definitely means a lot. So yeah. But anyways, this would honestly be a very, very good fight. This would be a very tough fight. This is actually being talked about all around, to be honest. It's being talked about by a lot of people. So why not? I'm gonna do my preview and prediction on it. This was a tough prediction to do, and this would be honestly this would be a really, really good fight, man. So yeah. So now we got that out the way. So now let's talk about their stats and then what they need to do to win, and then my final prediction. So let's start off with Dillian Whyte. So Dillian Whyte not comes into the fight with. Dillian Whyte has a record of 28 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at a height of 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. And obviously his only 2 losses came from Anthony Joshua and Alexander Povetkin. Also, he has 0 draws. If I said that already, then whoop-de-doo, but if I didn't, there. Now for Joyce. Joyce has a record of 13 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at a height of 6'6" with an 80-inch reach, and he's obviously coming off a good win against Carlos Takam. So yeah. So now we got that out the way. So now let's talk about what they need to do to win, and then my final prediction. So let's start off with Dillian Whyte. So what I would like to see from Dillian is kind of like what I said in my last video with Carlos Takam, is to beat Joyce to the punch, and I would really like him to tighten up his punches. We all know how good of a fighter Dillian Whyte is, but he really needs to tighten his punches up and not throw super wild. But yeah, I mean he can, but I really like him, be tight with his punches. Don't just throw haymakers and stuff, but also be aggressive, because Joyce, he's good at handling people that are aggressive, but it definitely will get the judges' attention, and the shots definitely hurt Joyce. Even though Joyce has a concrete chin, it will definitely it will hurt Joyce. So he definitely needs to, box his fight, beat Joyce to the punch, and be aggressive. Because if he does that, then he could have a very good chance of beating Joyce. And really time Joyce, and try to hit that chin. Because that's the only way how he can really hurt Joyce, if you time him perfectly to the chin and really catch him off guard, So he needs to do that. But mainly the key is to beat him to the punch, and that's what really people need to do to beat Joyce. Because that's what Carlos Takam did in this fight, is that he was beating Joyce to the punch here and there, and it was kind of frustrating Joyce, but then Joyce got the hang of it. But I'm pretty sure that Dillian Whyte is a lot more talented than Carlos Takam. So he definitely just needs to beat Joyce to the punch, try to box his fight, use your jab, and use your jab, but really just try to time that shot on Joyce, because how to rock Joyce is, again, you have to really time Joyce very well and catch him off guard. So that's what he needs to do, is catch Joyce and catch him off guard and like really hurt Joyce. And when you sense that Joyce is hurt, go for the kill, and try to drive him to the ropes and try to, hit him. Even though Joyce is very good at avoiding going to the ropes, because he kind of like lays on you. He kind of like throws you a little bit. Well, he uses you as like movement, so he kind of like moves himself while he's like grabbing you. So like he definitely needs to like kind of like drive him to the ropes and really just try to dog out Joe Joyce, but also make it kind of like a boxing fight too. But he really needs to tighten up on his punches because Joe Joyce because you can't just go in wild like that against. I mean, you can because that's what Daniel Dubois did, but it would really look better if Dillian Whyte would really tighten up on his shots and not no like kind of tighten up on your shots and not throw wild, if you know what I mean. If that makes any sense. So that's what Dillian Whyte needs to do to win. So now for Joe Joyce, what I would like to see from Joe Joyce is I would really like to see him. I want to see him move his feet more. Even though he's really good, I would like him to like kind of move it, like work on moving his feet faster, and then you flick that jab out there and try to tag, uh um Dillian Whyte to the face. Because like he did good against Carlos Takam, but there was definitely holes in his game, and he was giving Carlos Takam a lot of moments. So he definitely needs to work get faster with his feet, get faster with your punches, and definitely use your jab and obviously definitely use your jab to like bust up the face of Dillian Whyte, and also to keep Dillian Whyte at range. And when Dillian's trying to come wild, trying to punch, just try to move around, and pretty much just make Dillian Whyte look slow because Dillian Whyte's footwork is so bad. It's not good at all. People don't really notice that, but Dillian Whyte's footwork is so trash. It's like he has good technique with his shots, good. He has a good jab, and he has a good, jab, kind of like jab cross. He's good at that, but his footwork is atrocious. Like Joe Joyce has a lot better footwork. So he definitely needs to make Dillian Whyte look slow. Make him try to walk towards you, kind of like, but just try to jab him every time whenever Dillian Whyte's trying to come in the inside to try to punch you. So you just need to and you need to also really stiffen up your jab and make it hard, because even though we all know of how good of a jab Joe Joyce has, he still doesn't really tighten up on his jab. He needs to tighten up on his jab and put some power to that in that jab to really make Dillian Whyte not want to come in, And Dillian Whyte is that kind of fight. He kind of like what this guy said, Blue Collar Sports TV, kind of like what he said about Mario Barrios, is that that Dillian Whyte has like a fighter's ego. Like whenever he's hurt, he doesn't clinch or anything. He actually just tries to just fight and brawl. He kind of has a fighter's ego. So if Joe Joyce hurts Dillian Whyte, he really needs to go for the kill. Kind of like what he did against Carlos Takam. He needs to go for the kill and try to take Dillian Whyte out of there and really just bang him up and try to use that jab and then go jab cross, and use your hooks and then really just break down Dillian Whyte and make the ref want and also drive him to the ropes also and bang him up. Because Joe Joyce, he is good at that, because he's a very big guy. He's good at driving people to the ropes and keeping them there. So he definitely needs to do that and just unload with combos, and punches. Because, yeah, you need to worry about, getting caught by Dillian, but Joe Joyce has a very good chin. I always thought that his chin was a bit sus, but I wasn't really paying attention to Joe Joyce at the time. But once I saw him get hit by a guy with a lot of power, well, like Daniel Dubois or Carlos Takam, he can take those shots, and it doesn't really look like it buzzes him. Really, he feels the shots, but it doesn't really look like it buzzes him, you know. So he just needs to go for the kill and try to like make the ref stop the fight. So that's what Joe Joyce needs to do to win. So yeah. So my final prediction for this fight, again, this would be a very, 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 very good fight, and I hope this happens next. I'm pretty sure it will happen next because Dillian Whyte's not getting Wilder, and we all know what the hell would happen if they fought. But if I would have to pick one to win this fight, I probably would have to lean more towards Joe Joyce by either a stoppage in the later rounds or a unanimous decision. I just think the height of Joe Joyce, the jab of Joe Joyce, and the movement of Joe Joyce, even though he doesn't have the fastest head movement, the fast like movement, like I feel like the movement would really tire out Dillian Whyte and make him frustrated, and the jab of Joe Joyce would really like just like I think it would be very hard for Dillian Whyte to get through the jab of Joe Joyce. Not get through the jab because he can, but I just think the jab would be a lot for Dillian Whyte, and I just think there would be a lot of moments in the fight where Joe Joyce would hurt Dillian Whyte with the jab, really buzz him, and kind of like how he buzzed to Comp, because you know Dillian Whyte doesn't have the best chin in the world. He actually has a very bad chin, and it proved in the fight against Alexander Povetkin and the Joshua fight. So his chin isn't the best, and I just think that jab would just really just bust up the face of Dillian Whyte. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if I would have to pick one between a stoppage or a unanimous decision, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he would stop Dillian Whyte. To be honest, I think he would stop Dillian. The jab, the hooks, and just the way how Joe Joyce knows when to be aggressive, but then he also knows the time when to box. He's really, really good at that. And I just think, again, that would be way too much for Dillian. And that's why I picked Joe Joyce by a stoppage in the later rounds or a unanimous decision. So, yeah. So that's my final prediction. I got Joe Joyce by a stoppage in the later rounds or a unanimous decision. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm Preston for Whyte Media 360, and thank y'all for watching this video.